Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, it's been a long trial. I've asked my client, Ashley, to leave the courtroom. We heard testimony from doctors regarding Ashley's dismal future. Confined to a wheelchair for the rest of her life with no arms, just grotesque mechanical limbs, and paralyzed from the waist down. These medical facts have not been in dispute in this trial, and you must make decisions based on these realities. Ashley, however, is 14 years old. She still has hope, a dream that she will one day run again and play softball with her older sister. She dreams of a bionic arm invention that one day will look natural and function the way real arms do. I will not be responsible for shattering those dreams by making Ashley sit here and listen to the brutal reality that Ashley has been sentenced to life imprisonment in a wheelchair for a crime she did not commit. When the Alpha Company's truck driver decided to drink at a baseball game and then send a text message while driving a 12-ton truck, Ashley's life changed forever. He didn't stop or pull over to send that text message. He kept driving, but took his eyes off the road long enough to stare at the tiny screen of his phone. He never saw that the light ahead had turned red and traffic had begun to cross the street. Never slowing down, the Alpha Company truck smashed into Ashley's bicycle at sufficient speed to mangle her spine and arms. Unbelievably, the Alpha Company has suggested in this trial that it is not responsible for its driver's conduct in this situation. The Alpha Company knew that their driver, Mr. Johnson, had a cell phone, and in fact there was testimony that the Alpha Company used that very cell phone to track his location while making deliveries. The Alpha Company has no drug or alcohol screening of its drivers. The Alpha Company is responsible for their driver, Mr. Johnson's conduct, and should be held responsible for the damage inflicted on Ashley and her family. We simply ask for justice today. Return a verdict in favor of Ashley and against the Alpha Trucking Company, awarding sufficient money to give Ashley the best chance at salvaging the life that she will never experience like the rest of us. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, Ashley's life and the accident that changed it forever are tragedies. We all hurt for Ashley, and our hopes and prayers are and will be with Ashley and her family. As jurors, however, your job today is not to act on emotion. Your job is to make a decision based on the facts, the law, and an impartial assessment of the facts and answers to the questions that have been placed before you by the judge. In our state, you have a responsibility to apportion fault between the parties involved in the incident. My client is the Alpha Trucking Company. And this trial, the evidence has shown that the driver of my client's truck, Mr. Bud Johnson, violated the Alpha Company's driver protocols by having a cell phone within reach in the cab, and much less using it to send a text message. My client, the Alpha Trucking Company, conducted 10 hours of driver training 3 months before the collision occurred. And Mr. Johnson attended that driver training. The curriculum had 90 minutes of training on driver distraction, including the use of a cell phone while driving. My client, Alpha Trucking Company, fired Mr. Johnson immediately upon learning of the cell phone use that contributed to the collision. The evidence in this trial has shown, based on testimony and the GPS tracking system on the phone, that Mr. Johnson was 60 miles off of his delivery route and was spent the afternoon at a baseball game, where witness testimony revealed that Mr. Johnson spent the better part of the game complaining about my client, the Alpha Trucking Company, and where witness testimony revealed that he consumed a minimum of 2 beers. Of the parties involved, the driver, Mr. Bud Johnson, is the most responsible. We do not ask that you apportion any of the fault to Ashley, but we do ask that you apportion 100% of the responsibility to Mr. Johnson. The fact that he was unable to be located for this trial and has not participated in it, those facts are irrelevant. Mr. Johnson is at fault, not my client, the Alpha Trucking Company. And we respectfully request that your verdict reflect these realities. Thank you. Okay. Using your handheld audience response system, please vote A if the closing argument on behalf of Ashley was more persuasive to you, and vote B if the closing argument on behalf of the Alpha Trucking Company was more persuasive. Go ahead and vote now. All right, let's see how you voted. All right, 163 of you voted that the closing argument on behalf of Ashley was more persuasive, and 93 of you voted that the closing argument on behalf of the Alpha Trucking Company was more persuasive. This is typical of what we see in a group this size when we do this exercise, and it is the result that we would expect based on the exercise that we've done. The exercise really illustrates two different attempts to persuade you. The exercise puts fairness against pity. If Ashley doesn't recover from the Alpha Trucking Company, she likely won't recover anything. But the Alpha Trucking Company is saying, hey, the most fair result here is to pin this on the drinking, lazy, texting driver who violated the Alpha Company's driver protocols. Persuasion is a part of every person's daily life, whether you realize it or not. Are you aware of the constant opportunities to persuade your clients, your customers, your employees, your bosses, your coworkers, your kids, your spouse, your friends, and others? Every day, from beginning to end, you have the opportunity to be great or horrible at persuasion. Lawyers are trained to be persuasive in the courtroom, in negotiation, and in all aspects of legal practice. Some lawyers are great at persuasion. Many lawyers are not good or great at persuasion. But from those lawyers that are great at persuasion, much can be learned and applied to your work and personal life. There are 5 secrets of persuasion that great lawyers master. Today, we will expose those secrets and learn the tools so that you can be more persuasive in everything that you do. Let's dive in.